Saturday evening, this was the exact spot that protesters arrived to. They actually didn't even make it to the Capitol. Here's a play-by-play of exactly what happened. Saturday around 1 p.m., about 100 protesters or so gathered at the food truck parking lot. The sheriff's department arrived beforehand to describe safety precautions and what is expected. They told the group that they would be given 3 warnings before more action was taken. Regina Joseph is the president of the Tallahassee Community Action Committee. She addressed the group saying she does not want anyone to get hurt, but at the same time, in the face of controversy, she does not want to back down, but rather compromise. That is why it was decided protesters would begin marching on the street and after the first warning, move to the sidewalk. So at around 3:30 p.m., the group decided to head towards the Capitol. About 7 minutes or so into the march, a gray truck that you see on your screen pulled up with a speaker that said,
"On behalf of the Tallahassee Police Department, Chief Lawrence Rebels, I hereby dismiss an unlawful assembly."
At that time, protesters were on the street, and after the truck gave the first warning, they moved to the sidewalk. As they continued their march, other protesters drove alongside in their vehicles, and at the head of the group leading the protesters was one of the organizers named Trish Brown. As the group made a right onto Monroe, this scene unfolded. You can see tensions high as Tallahassee Police Department officers pulled over Trish, saying she was blocking traffic as she was going too slow. At that time, traffic was still flowing, no roads were blocked. You could see Regina and other protesters encouraging officers to give her the ticket while she remained in the vehicle. Things got aggressive as protesters encroached on officers while officers asked Trish to step out of the vehicle. Lots of back and forth, and as you see here, Trish gets arrested. Then more as protesters try and join hands and sit on the sidewalk. You can see Regina here, followed by roughly 15 other protesters being placed into handcuffs. You can also see hundreds of law enforcement from both the Sheriff's Department and Tallahassee Police Department. SWAT team was on site, riot gear on full display as officers continued to arrest protesters in the crowd. Tallahassee Police Department says these protests were unpermitted, and as of right now, it's not known if those protesters are being charged. The scene from start to finish Saturday lasted about an hour. According to the Tallahassee Community Action Committee, which organized the protest, all the protesters arrested have been released on bail. 3 of those arrested had to go to the hospital with unknown injuries. Now, in today's booking report, between the 15 protesters, there were 13 charges of resisting an officer without violence, 3 charges of unlawful assembly and committing breach of peace, 1 charge of disorderly conduct, 1 DUI, 1 battery of an officer, and 1 charge of inciting a riot.